Rosa the Beloved One 6 by Hakjin Kim. They all sigh and silence falls in the room again. At that point Linda's dog swings its tail running to the back door. Their eyes pop while finding who comes in. Much to their surprise, there stands Rosa, who comes home earlier. All three of them are startled enough to rise to their feet all together. Rosa's just looking at them, losing her words. "Oh, you're early." Mr. and Mrs. Parker stopped by to have some coffee. "Rosa, this is Mrs. Olivia Parker," Linda says. "Hi. I think I saw you in school when I went to class as a substitute teacher." "I'm Olivia and this is Paul," Olivia says to Rosa, extending her hand for a handshake. Rosa also extends her hand. "Nice to meet you, Mrs. Parker." Rosa smiles at Paul and Olivia as if they look new to her. But soon she excuses herself and takes the staircase up to get out of the dining room. Rosa climbs into her bed and lies flat on her back, watching the ceiling blankly. A flood of thoughts pass through her mind. She recalls the faces of the elderly couple at the subway station, who chased her yelling something. And this time they showed up and talk a mysterious story with Linda. Before seeing Mr. and Mrs. Parker in the dining room, Rosa almost forgets about them because she happened to know they were normal people. But their presence in front of her makes her feel uncomfortable again. Besides, she hardly believes her ears about what she overheard outside the dining room. Blood type and a nurse and the ID band. The more she thinks over, the more she feels complicated. Rosa knows what her blood type is. Suddenly, she feels dizzy as a matter of serious concern comes to her mind. It looks like Rosa needs time to get her thoughts into shape. She feels like throwing up, but restrains herself from it. Instead, she takes her cell phone and calls Alice. "Hey, what's up?" Alice answers. "Can I see you right now at McDonald's?" "I need to talk," Rosa says. "Come on. Why are you rushing around?" "I just arrived home a few minutes ago," Alice says. "Well, I can't hold a huge secret by myself," Rosa says in a weak voice. "All right. I'll see you there 20 minutes later," Alice surrenders. Speaking of Alice, she's a real beauty with an outgoing personality but taciturn. So she's never leaked a secret. Though she's popular in school, she's a little picky in choosing friends, but likes to spend time with Rosa, who has been good at sports. Still lying on her bed, Rosa pulls herself together, thinking what to tell Alice. She figures out that she shouldn't belong to this home. She isn't Anne and Brian's daughter by birth, and Linda isn't her grandma. By the time she muses on what she overheard, she hears a knock at the door. "Sweetie, can I come in?" Linda whispers. "Yes, Grandma, the door's open," Rosa shouts as if she is disrupted. Linda enters and tries to read Rosa's mind and asks, "What do you want for dinner?" "There are cookies and pie in the kitchen." "Grandma, I'm going out to McDonald's. I'll have a chicken burger with Alice." "We have a project to talk about and it won't take long," Rosa says cutely. As Linda watches Rosa turn the corner of the street, she looks at her own face, reflected on the tinted window pane. She thinks her face is clouded with anxiety. Due to this serious issue, she becomes hollow-cheeked and looks older than she used to do. Since she encountered Paul, she has lost her appetite. She even doesn't sleep well, worrying what the future of all is going to be like. Sitting on the couch with another cup of coffee, she closes her eyes, thinking how she can explain the truth to Rosa, who doesn't seem to know what is going on. Still, she can't come up with a good solution. Inside the McDonald's, a few seats are occupied, and Alice comes in a couple of minutes after Rosa. They sit by the window before ordering food. "Alice, what will you have?" "I buy you." "Don't say no," Rosa insists. "A cheeseburger with a Coke," Alice says. A while later, when they are almost done with their meals, Rosa brings up the issue which she is concerned. "Alice, you know what? Today I saw Mr. Parker and his wife at my home. They were talking with my grandma when I joined them by chance. All three of them looked surprised with my presence. They didn't seem to know that I overheard. So I just said hello to them and went upstairs, Rosa says plainly. Really? I wonder why they showed up. Tell me what you overheard, Alice says. Rosa takes a deep breath. Alice. This sounds really absurd. Paul has a granddaughter whose name is Helen. Recently, he found out Helen's blood type. It was that couldn't be a plausible case, because her parents' blood types are A. I have no idea why he disclosed Helen's blood type. But somehow he is trying to find his real granddaughter, Rosa begins. I think my grandma was a witness. According to Paul, because she had been in the newborn unit before Paul arrived. So Paul insisted that Linda must have seen what happened in the newborn unit, though he missed it. And Linda said that the only thing she saw was an ID band on the floor, which slipped off from the first baby. And then the second baby came in without her ID band, which wasn't put by the nurse's mistake. I think the first baby was meant to be Helen, but the nurse put the ID band, Rosa, on the first one. I became Rosa instead of Helen. It sounds weird, Rosa finishes. Alice listens to Rosa without cutting her off in the middle. What the heck? You're supposed to be Helen, huh? Wait a minute, I think I heard that name. Yeah, Helen was always with Roy, Alice says with her eyes wide open. Really? I haven't seen her at school. Rosa says, feeling a bit jealous of Helen. She goes to a private school. You know, her grandpa is rich, Alice shrugs. I see. Anyway, if this whole story is really true, tell me what to do, Rosa says. They both become quiet for a while. Alice slowly rises to her feet and says, Rosa, I think you better let it go for now and then sleep well tonight. Let's talk about this tomorrow, Alice says. On the bike ride home, Rosa feels the wind in her hair, which is a lot warmer, giving the notion that summer is around the corner. From the distance, her father's car jumps to her eyes. Wheeling her bike into the garage, she sees Brian alone watching TV in the living room. At the spring door of the kitchen, she breathes deeply to behave as usual, like she knows nothing about the conversation of Paul and Linda. She enters the kitchen, in which the light is on, and hears Anne's angry voice. Mom! I said it couldn't happen to us. Rosa is my daughter. I don't want to talk about that anymore. And I don't believe what Paul said anyway, Anne says. As Rosa hears her mom's voice, she makes a noise by opening and closing the kitchen door on purpose. I'm home. Where are you? Rosa shouts deliberately. Oh, Rosa! When did you get in? Did you lock the garage door? Anne asks. Yep. I did. I'm your daughter. I've never make a mistake twice, Rosa grins to her mom. Why are you so nervous to Granny? Is there something wrong about me? Rosa asks with a doubtful look. No, Anne and Linda say at the same time with their eyes popped. Rosa shrugs and goes to her dad, who seems to focus on TV drama. Hey Dad, you're home. How was your business trip?